The holiday season is approaching, and if you've got a whiskey lover in your life, you might be wondering what kind of gifts you should get them. Well, I've got you covered. I'm Matt, I'm the Whiskey Nerd, and in this video I'm going to be talking about 5 great whiskey themed kind of present ideas you can give to someone in your life who really does love whiskey. And we're going to start off with the most obvious whiskey themed gift for a whiskey lover: whiskey. And it can sometimes be a bit of a challenge if you are a whiskey drinker, or if you're not a whiskey drinker, to find a whiskey you think somebody else is going to like, especially if you are maybe dealing with a budget. If you don't know what they're really going to like, or you're worried about getting them something maybe they already have and kind of wasting your money. So for that, there's kind of 2 ideas for how to get someone whiskey, especially if you're on a limited budget. You could start off with a shelf staple. So for me, I always have a bottle of Roe & Co on my shelves for when I'm making cocktails. So when that one's getting empty, I always have another one on hand so I can replace it. So if you are looking for something, you can get them a shelf stable whiskey. If it's a bourbon, something like Wild Turkey 101, something where you know they're always going to drink it. It's something that it's not going to go to waste in their house. Or you could get something like this. You could get these. They're little 200ml bottles of whiskey. These are Scotch whiskeys. Someone gave them to me recently, and they're just like little samples. They're only 200ml, so even if I don't like them, I'm not going to be really upset about having a bottle on my shelf that's going to sit there forever. And for you, they're not going to be the most expensive. So you can maybe get a couple of different ones of these to show someone a new style of whiskey. Next up, it's gift number 2, and it's especially the kind of safe bet option. It's a gift card for a bottle shop. And it might sound like a bit of a cop-out, getting someone, a $50 or €50 gift card to a whiskey shop that you could have gone in and bought something yourself. But if you think about it, like if you're getting something in that kind of mid-range price, you could buy someone a bottle that maybe they don't like, or maybe they already have, like I was saying earlier. If you want to get them something nice, a gift card might be the right choice, because that way they can go into the store and they can find a whiskey that they don't have, or they can look at one of those top shelf whiskeys. They can look at one of those quite expensive whiskeys. Using that gift voucher, they can make that top shelf price more of a mid-range price. So don't be afraid to get someone a gift voucher for a good whiskey shop, and that way they can pick the whiskey they're gonna like. Gift idea number 3 for someone who loves whiskey is, well, whiskey glasses. Because it's all well and good having a nice bottle of whiskey on your shelf, but you need something to drink it out of. Now, there are a lot of whiskey glasses out there. There's Glencairns, there's those big rocks glasses. My personal favorite is the Tua glass, which is this glass here. It's kind of designed for drinking Irish whiskey, but it's got a nice couple of features to it. Nice flared rim, makes it nice, easy to kind of drink out of. You can rest it on its side like that. It also comes in these kind of matte black versions where you can do a blind tasting, so you can't see the color of the whiskey inside it. You just have to go by the smell and by the taste. And you can get glass like this that are kind of engraved, and can get them something nice. You can make it a little bit fancier. You can also get sets that have things like these. They're called pipettes. And so if you're drinking some really high proof, high strength whiskey, sometimes you need to add a little bit of water to it. And so these let you control the water. You can get kind of minimalistic ones like this, or ones that are a little bit more kind of fancy like this. And either way, it does let you add a little bit of water to your whiskey. You can get these nice sets. I'll see if I can find a picture to put one up there of these kind of custom sets you can get for somebody to kind of show you that you put a little bit more thought into their present. Idea number 4 is something that's already on the set. It is this right here, a little mini barrel. Now, this here is an ex-sherry barrel, so it actually used to hold sherry, and now it holds my whiskey. And I use this as like what I call an infinity barrel. So every now and then I retop this up with a different whiskey, and as you can see, it is full of whiskey. So I use this, and I use it as like a house whiskey. When somebody comes over to the house, I say, oh, do you want to try a drop from my house whiskey? And they say, what's in it? And I say, I don't know, at this point it has like 20 different types of whiskey in it, but I always try and make it into a flavor that works. So I'll never put in something really smoky. Instead, it's kind of filled with bourbon whiskeys and Irish whiskeys, and just kind of nice flavors that work well together. So something like this can be a really nice kind of gift to let someone experiment and play around with the flavors and come up with their own house whiskey. So if you can, a home barrel or a home barrel aging kit, something to look into. Before I get into gift idea number 5, I'm going to tell you a little bit about these. These are whiskey stones. You might have seen these pop up around Christmas time. I see them all the time in stores, and I think they're a bit of a gimmick. They're essentially stones that someone has kind of sanded and smoothed out to put in a glass of whiskey to hopefully chill them out. You pop them in the freezer and you put them in your glass. I think they're a bit of a gimmick. I don't think they really work as well as ice. If you want to chill down whiskey, put a nice big rock of ice in there and it will chill it down much more effectively, much more quickly, and it won't break your glass because these are quite hard. If you drop those into the glass, you might end up cracking your glass, especially if you got someone a really nice set of glasses. If you get them one of these, they might end up breaking those glasses. So I would say if you see these on the shelves, leave them on the shelf, because if you get them, someone's just going to pick them up and say, oh, this is great, never use them, except maybe if they use them as a prop in a video like I am right now. Speaking of videos, I put out whiskey reviews every Wednesday. I put out whiskey cocktail recipes every Friday, and if you want to see more like this kind of video, I put these kind of random videos out every now and then on Monday. So if you want to see more like that, make sure you scroll down, hit that thumbs up button, hit that subscribe button, and let me know what kind of other random videos you'd like to see me make on Mondays. But gift idea number 5 is actually not something tangible. It's not something you can touch. It is a visit to a whiskey distillery. If you've got a whiskey lover in your life who has a real passion for a specific distillery, or if they just want to learn more about how whiskey is made, a trip to a distillery can be a really kind of fun present. You can make a little bit of a holiday of it. You can maybe get a hotel room nearby, go to the distillery, you could both drink, do the whole tour, and then have a nice night out afterwards. You can make it into a nice bit of a holiday. A lot of distilleries now have also made really nice kind of visitor attractions, so they have like a basic tour that you can go on, but also some of them have like blending experiences where you get to go blend your own whiskey and take it home. They have whiskey distillery exclusive, so if you want that whiskey, you can only get it at the distillery. So there's a lot to a whiskey distillery tour. You can actually get a lot there, and you can make it into a nice big kind of present. So you kind of maybe a little bit of an excursion, yes, but definitely something fun and a little bit different. So those are my ideas for 5 whiskey themed presents for the whiskey lover in your life, and 1 whiskey themed present you should definitely not get them. But if you've got any other ideas for whiskey themed presents, let me know down in the comments below, because I'd love to hear from you. And anybody watching this video would really love to hear what kind of inspiration you have for whiskey themed gifts. But that's all from me. I will see you next time. Sláinte.